Hi, in today's video, we're going to go through the process of adding images to your WordPress blog. What you're going to be doing is the end result's going to be a site like this where you're adding pictures to your article. It'll be like this. What they're going to look like in the back end is this. We're going to go through the steps of how I planned out the pictures, where I got the pictures from, how I edited them down to large web size, and then how I used a site called tinyping.com to shrink them down, basically squash them up so they weren't going to be a drag on SEO and page speed. That's the goal of today's video. Let's move in to see the sections of what I did and how I did. How you can look at images will be either presented in this way for you on your site, or you can change them to the grid method, which is going to be this way here. This is the way I prefer to have them do it. So let's move into the sections. We'll look at how I edited them down, and then at the end we'll also be talking about how to fill in proper keywords for good SEO. That's today's video. So in this lesson, I want to teach you about getting your images ready for your blog or your website. First off, I use a Pomodoro timer. It starts at 25 minutes. So far, what I'm going to show you is taking me 13 minutes to do. Next, we're going to look at the program that I just used on some of these photos. I downloaded every one of these photos to this program to shrink them down for file size before I enter them into my WordPress site. You can see the savings in file size is substantial. These are all very large. Now these have all been readied down and cut down to size. Remove my all these started out as large photos from Deposit Photos. As you can see, some I labeled, some I didn't. Now the next thing I did was I opened up each one of these pictures here in the editor, and I shrunk them down to web size, large web size, which is 640 by 427. And then I labeled them. But this time I labeled them with terms that I want to have the Google bots notice and recognize as tiny web chickens, free roaming web chickens hut. Just, eggs, tiny web chickens with young girls. These are all titles that I used. And then after I had every one of the images that I had downloaded gets redone into a web size, and I set it as a web size. Then I uploaded every one of them. Tinyping.com is what it's called, and there'll be a link down in the description for you on that. It's free. It's a free tool. Now every one of these is ready to go for my blog. Okay, so first we're going to go back, start my Pomodoro again. This keeps me on track for being productive with my time. I'm going to go back to my WordPress site here, and we're going to click on Media right here, and that's going to pull up our library. Now we don't have any items in our library, so what we're going to do is add new, and then I'm going to select Files. And what I'm going to do is look for my pictures in here in my files, and pull up my new file. Now I created a new folder entirely called Chickens Lay Eggs for my site. I'm going to pull these up, and I'm going to look down here for all the tiny web ones. There's one there. I'm going to hold my control button down. I'm going to upload maybe 5 at once. And then these will upload to my WordPress site. Now these are all small, and they're optimized with keywords, so that's a good thing. Okay, so I've done 5. We've done this chicken family one here. It's the last one we left off on. And we're going to pick up. So we're looking for tiny webs again. We did this one. We haven't done this one, so we're going to do this one next. And we just go back and just keep looking for the next ones here. And that'll be it for this lesson. That's how we download them to our blog. Okay, so next, you have right here in the media library, you have 2 ways to present it the way I'm presenting it now. I make sure that they're all tiny web images, and this is more in preparing. You can go to the grid format where it just comes across. And so I counted the number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and it says I have 12, so I must have a duplicate in here. Yeah, this one here. Anyway, But that's how you prepare, because now what we're going to do, next thing we're going to do is we're going to go to post, and we're going to make our first post. We're going to click on open a new link as a new post. And then as we do that, you create your title here. You now have to add media. When you go up, pull up add media, you can come into the media library and you have pictures already set to go to use for your post. So that's the next step in preparing. Now, all this is done, prepared before you actually start writing your content. You know, I took the time to go to deposit photos, where I get my photos from, and I uploaded pictures to a folder, which I showed you. We created a folder, then we went through and sized them all down. Then we went to Tiny and sized them up, even shrunk them down more, so everything's better optimized. And then we're finally ready to put them into our post here. And what you're going to do is, if you call this one up here, now over here on the right side, it's got Tiny Web Young Chicks. If I wanted to use young chicks for the word, it's already there for me. Make sure I fill in my alt text, and if a caption underneath it, if I want one, and put it in a description. So this way, for SEO, Google bots are reading what this picture is about. And then you've got down here the size. Now I can do medium size, thumbnail size, or full size. Now the full size is plenty large enough if you pop that in. So you've got the ability to do what you want with the pictures. So that's how I upload images to my blog, and how I prepared them for the blog, and how I'm going to add them now to the blog. So that's today's video. I hope you received some ideas, some help on how this works. Working with WordPress as a beginner can be kind of challenging at times, but this was designed to help you create posts that'll be attractive and looking like these posts here for your viewers, and for creating SEO and good Google traction so that you make lots of money with your blog. So that's it for today's video. If you did get some value from this video, please give me a thumbs up, like the video. Also, don't forget to reach over there and subscribe to the video, and also tap that icon, the bell icon, so you get notified every time I'm publishing a new video to our channel. That's it for today's video. Thank you. Take care. God bless.